What if I told you the new Pope, Leo XIV, has already shaken the Catholic Church to its core in just weeks? We're talking bold moves, jaw-dropping decisions, and a vision that's got the world buzzing. This is not your average Vatican update. Stick with me for the next few minutes, and I'll reveal the first 5 of 10 game-changing moves Pope Leo XIV has made since taking the papal throne. Before we dive in, I have a little favor to ask. I'm trying to get to 30,000 subscribers before the end of this year. Please like and subscribe to help build my community. Also, do comment where you're watching from so I'll give you a special shout-out in my next video. Let's go. First, let's set the stage. On May 8, 2025, Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost became Pope Leo XIV, stepping into the shoes of St. Peter as the 266th Pope. In less than a month, he's made waves that have Catholics, from Brazil's 130 million faithful to small parishes in your hometown, whispering about what's next. Why does this matter? Because the Pope doesn't just lead 1.4 billion Catholics, he shapes global conversations on faith, peace, and justice. So, what's he done that's got everyone talking? Let's dive into the first change, but brace yourself, it's a bold one. Change number 1, Pope Leo XIV kicked off his papacy with a powerful call for peace that's turning heads. In his very first address from St. Peter's Basilica, he didn't just offer a generic blessing. He looked out over the crowd and said, "Peace be with you all," echoing Jesus' words to his disciples. But here's the kicker, he didn't stop there. He called for a united church, one that's faithful to the gospel and builds bridges between people. Why is this a big deal? Because in a world torn by conflict, think Ukraine, Gaza, or even political divides in your own backyard, this isn't just talk. It's a mission statement. He's signaling that his papacy will tackle division head-on, and that's got Catholics and world leaders alike paying close attention. But what does this mean for you? Whether you're Catholic or just curious, this focus on peace could reshape how the Church engages with the world. Will it lead to new diplomatic efforts? Could it inspire your local parish to take action? Now, hold on to your seats for change number 2, because this one's a curveball. Pope Leo XIV has already made a shocking move inside the Vatican walls. Just days into his papacy, he removed Archbishop Vincenzo Paglia, a figure known for stirring debate in Catholic circles. This wasn't a quiet reshuffle, it's a signal that Leo XIV isn't afraid to shake up the Church's inner workings. Why does this matter? Paglia's departure raises questions about the direction of Vatican leadership. Is this a cleanup of controversy, or is something bigger brewing? We'll come back to that later, because there's a twist you won't believe. For now, let's talk about why this move has Catholics buzzing. The Vatican isn't just a spiritual hub, it's a complex institution with centuries of tradition. By making such a decisive change so early, Pope Leo XIV is showing he's not here to play it safe. Change number 3 is all about freedom, specifically, the freedom of the press. In his first news briefing on May 12, 2025, Pope Leo XIV did something unexpected. He didn't just talk about faith or doctrine. He stood up for journalists, calling free speech and the press a precious gift. He even expressed solidarity with reporters imprisoned around the world. Picture this, the leader of the Catholic Church, speaking to a room of reporters, urging them to communicate without ideological spin. That's not just bold, it's revolutionary. Why should you care? In an era of misinformation and division, this move puts the Church on the front lines of defending truth. For Catholics, it's a reminder that faith and reason go hand in hand. For everyone else, it's a call to value honest reporting. So, what's your take? Comment below, do you think the Church should be this vocal about free speech? Let's hear it. Now, let's pivot to change number 4, and this one's got a global pulse. Pope Leo XIV didn't waste time wading into the world's biggest conflicts. In his first Sunday blessing, he called for peace in Ukraine and an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, even urging the release of hostages. He didn't just pray for peace, he got specific, even speaking directly with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. This isn't your typical papal prayer. It's a leader stepping into the global spotlight, using his platform to push for action. This matters because the Pope's voice carries weight. From the 130 million Catholics in Brazil to communities in conflict zones, his words could spark hope or even influence policy. But here's the question: can one man's call for peace really change the world? That's where things get intriguing, and we'll circle back to that in a moment. Before we move to the fifth change, let me ask you to do something. If you're loving this breakdown of Pope Leo XIV's bold start, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. We're only halfway through, and the next changes are going to blow your mind. Plus, stick around, because there's a twist coming that'll leave you speechless. Change number 5 is all about tradition, and it's not what you might expect. When Pope Leo XIV chose his name, he didn't pick something modern or flashy. He went with Leo, a nod to Pope Leo XIII, who revolutionized Catholic social teaching in the 19th century. This choice isn't just symbolic, it's a clue to his vision. Leo XIII tackled issues like workers' rights and social justice, and now Leo XIV is wearing traditional papal vestments, unlike his predecessor, Pope Francis. Think flowing white robes and a classic pectoral cross, radiating history and reverence. Why does this matter? For Catholics, it's a sign that Leo XIV respects the Church's deep roots while eyeing social issues like poverty and inequality. For everyone else, it's a reminder that tradition can still speak to modern problems. But here's the cliffhanger: could this traditional style hide a radical plan? We'll get to that in the next part, but for now, let's pause and reflect. What do you think Leo XIV's name choice means for the Church's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep this conversation alive. Change number 6 is all about reaching across divides. Pope Leo XIV is putting ecumenism, unity with other Christian churches, at the heart of his papacy. At his inauguration on May 8, 2025, he gave a shout-out to sister Christian churches, a bold nod to groups like the Orthodox and Protestants. But he's not stopping at words. He's planning his first international trip to Turkey to celebrate the 1700th anniversary of the First Council of Nicaea, a historic moment that shaped Christian belief. Why does this matter? Because 2.4 billion Christians worldwide are divided, and Leo XIV is stepping up to bridge that gap. Could this be the start of a new era of Christian unity? But here's why it hits home. Whether you're Catholic, Protestant, or just curious, this move could spark conversations in your own community. Imagine churches working together like never before. What would that look like where you live? Drop a comment below. Do you think Christian unity is possible in our lifetime? Now, let's shift gears to change number 7, and this one's got a deeply personal touch. Pope Leo XIV is doubling down on the Church's role as a beacon of love, not power. In his inaugural homily on May 18, 2025, he called for a church that leads with self-sacrificing love, echoing Jesus' call to serve others. This isn't just fluffy talk, it's a challenge to every Catholic to live faith through action. He's pushing the Church to be a force for compassion in a world that often feels cold. Why should you care? This vision could inspire new outreach programs, from feeding the hungry to welcoming refugees. It's a call to every one of us to step up. But there's a catch: some are whispering that this focus might sideline other priorities. If you're feeling inspired, hit that like button to show some love for this message of compassion. And let's keep moving to change number 8, because this one's got everyone talking. Pope Leo XIV is staying true to Catholic roots on hot-button issues, but with a twist. In a private audience with the Vatican's diplomatic corps, he reaffirmed traditional teachings on marriage and the dignity of the unborn. That's no surprise for a pope, right? But here's what's turning heads. He's also signaled openness to context-specific blessings for same-sex couples, a nod to Pope Francis' inclusive approach. This balance is a tightrope walk. For Catholics, it's a reminder that doctrine and mercy can coexist. For the rest of the world, it shows the Church grappling with modern questions without losing its core. But here's the cliffhanger: could this spark a bigger debate within the Church? Now, let's talk about change number 9, and this one's got a global heartbeat. Pope Leo XIV is keeping the Church's focus on the marginalized, just like his predecessor. As Cardinal Prevost, he championed care for migrants and environmental stewardship, and now as Pope, he's carrying that torch. Think about it, from supporting refugees fleeing conflict to addressing climate change, he's making the Church a voice for those who need it most. This isn't just Vatican talk, it's a call to action for parishes worldwide, maybe even yours. Why does this hit so hard? In a world where millions are displaced and the planet's crying out, Leo XIV's stance could push Catholics to lead on these issues. But here's the question: can the Church really make a difference on this scale? That's where things get spicy, and we're not done yet. Alright, let's wrap up with change number 10, and this one's a stunner. Pope Leo XIV is bringing a centrist vision to the papacy, blending tradition with progress in a way that's got everyone guessing. As a cardinal, he opposed ordaining women as deacons, keeping with conservative doctrine. But he's also shown a heart for inclusivity, like supporting those same-sex blessings in specific cases. This isn't a pope who fits neatly into a box, he's carving his own path, one that respects the Church's 2,000-year history while facing today's challenges. Why does this matter to you? Whether you're one of the 1.4 billion Catholics or just watching from the sidelines, this centrist approach could redefine how the Church speaks to the world. It's about holding fast to faith while opening doors to dialogue. But here's the big question. Can Leo XIV keep this balance without sparking a backlash? That's the twist we've been building to, and it's one the whole world is watching. So, what do you think? Is Pope Leo XIV's vision the future of the Catholic Church, or is it a risky gamble? Drop your thoughts in the comments, let's hear where you stand. And if this journey through his 10 changes blew your mind, give this video a like and share it with someone who needs to see it. We've gone from peace calls to Vatican shakeups to a bold new vision, and this is just the beginning. Thank you for joining me on this wild ride through Pope Leo XIV's first moves. Keep the conversation going in the comments, tell me which change hit you hardest or what you hope to see next from this Pope. Subscribe, ring that bell, and stick with us for more stories that spark faith, curiosity, and hope. Until next time, stay curious and keep the faith.